Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? I really wanted to hold back for this video, but I've seen a lot of Nintendo fanboys talking about why they think, you know, they think Skyward Sword, right over here, is the best Zelda game ever. Now, I don't think it is. I mean, I would say I really have to strongly disagree. As a person as a Zelda fan, I am such a huge Zelda fan, it is what got me into gaming. I've said this in several Zelda videos. I know I'm making like tons of Zelda videos, but this is the game I'm really playing right now because I just want to complete this game. I want to do my Game of the Year list, which I've pretty much shaped up already. I know what games I'm going to put on my Game of the Year list. But, anyways, Zelda, to me, has always been about its open world and vast experience. Seeing the open world of Hyrule in front of you, the different locations that you will encounter, the different NPCs who have their own stories, have their own schedules. Like, for instance, in Ocarina of Time, you have the guy talking about his carpenter business and how their sons just waste time all the time, and it just makes you feel like the world is more realistic and more there. Now, with Zelda Skyward Sword, there are only 3 locations in the game. You got the Laniru Province, you got the Elden Mountains, and the Elden Forest. Okay? And essentially, there are 7 dungeons in the game. Okay, look, I'm almost done the game. I'm up to the last part. My Master Sword, my sword became the Master Sword, so I really know what's going on about the game. But the thing is with this game is that there's no real open world experience. There is a hub where you go to the 3 worlds. That's below the clouds. Basically what happens is alright, I'm not going to get into that because I'm going to do my full review of the game. So forget about that. But there's a hub with 3 worlds, and that's it. And these worlds, there's no shops, there's no people at all. Yeah, there's these people here and there that you talk to, but it doesn't feel like an open world like Zelda did. Because in Zelda, there were tons of locations, and each location introduced a different area in the game. There were more locations, is what I'm trying to say. You know, there was more of an open world. There were so many more different locations in these other games. This game, you keep going back to the same locations over and over. You know. And again, there's one mechanic where you have this thing which alters time, and different bad guys come and different mechanics come into play. But they use that mechanic twice. Very similarly, they use it twice in the game. And that, to me, is a bit repetitive. In Majora's Mask, which I'm going to say right now, I know Ocarina of Time is considered one of the best Zelda games, but I'm going to say, and I used to be a person who said, what? Ocarina of Time is better. No. I think the best 3D Zelda game ever made was The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. That is the best Zelda game because it is so unique. Everything is revolved at one mechanic. It's so unique. It's the only game, put it this way, that has nothing to do with Zelda, nothing to do with Ganondorf. It's basically a personal quest that Link takes because he's trying to find Navi. Because I don't know if you consider this a Zelda timeline, but if you can consider a Zelda timeline, I'm not the expert on this issue, but basically Link is looking for Navi. Okay? Nothing to do. It's not Hyrule. It doesn't revolve around the Triforce. It revolves around the fact that there's a Skull Kid who gets his hands on this mask. Yeah, the guy, the Happy Mask guy's the same guy from Ocarina of Time in the town square in Hyrule by the castle, but nothing to do with the story. No, not the Triforce, not the 3 goddesses, that created the world that they talk about in Ocarina of Time. Nothing, and the way they use everything's revolving around time. For instance, if all your items are lost, everything is lost besides the quest, because obviously there would be no point in the game, right? But not just that, the masks. In Ocarina of Time, the masks were there just for collectibles and kind of stuff and getting extra stuff and it's side quests. They incorporate the masks into the levels, and the dungeons are so complicated and cool. The way for instance, Stone Tower Temple, it's revolved around the fact that you turn the temple upside down and right side up, and you have to figure out which, how to navigate through the dungeon. And there's certain areas you can access while it's upside down or right side up, which I think is amazing. And I thought that the puzzle with the mirrors, where you have to use your mirror shield to navigate to get to the block. You know those blocks you need to use the mirror shield for, or the light arrow for, to take away those blocks. You know the blocks they had in Ocarina of Time. You play the Songs of Time, and it got rid of it. I thought that was cool. And the same thing, the second dungeon, I forgot what it was called. You're the Goron mask, obviously. So you have to figure out which ice glaciers to punch out first. And if you did it the wrong way, what I'm trying to say is they never repeated a puzzle more than once. And there were different kind of puzzles. It was unique, in my opinion. And to me, it's just Zelda's a bit repetitive with its puzzles, and again, the motion controls. Anybody who says the motion controls work 100% is stupid and ignorant, and they're fanboys, because it doesn't. A lot of times you could waggle your way up, just like doing like and kill them. You don't need to say. Granted, a lot of the enemies in the game, you do need to use that mechanic, but for a lot of the bosses, all you have to do is waggle your Wiimote and you win. That's it. It doesn't take any skill. That's what I'm trying to say. The combat system is so shallow because all the enemies are doing is, and you have to find the hole. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. That's ridiculous. That's like, I think Zelda has to deepen the combat system, make it more cool and more challenging, and you know what I'm saying? But look, no. Skyward Sword is not the best Zelda game ever. I think it's between Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, the two greatest Zelda games ever. It is not Skyward Sword. Anybody who says that, I think it's ridiculous. And being a fanboy, oh, because the game just came out, and it's nostalgia because it's Zelda. I can understand that, but it's not the best Zelda game ever. Not by far. It's Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time, in my opinion. You know, it was the only game that did not have the story of Ganondorf. It didn't have the story of this Triforce or this Temple of Time, and you have to save Zelda. It was a unique story. And that whole quest, what's her name? The quest with that young girl with the purple hair. Oh, I forgot the name. Oh, you're probably going to kill me. That was cool. Everything revolves around time, and the way they incorporate that into the game, I thought that was pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. Skyward Sword is an awesome game. Definitely one of the best games this year. There's no question about it. But to say it's the best Zelda game ever, I just think is ridiculous. It isn't. I mean, again, the fact that you have to repeat. I mean, you go to the three same areas twice. It's more linear. Because in most Zelda games, you were free to explore everything and anything you want. This game, you can't really explore. In these areas, it's just straightforward. You're going from one area to the next, and that's it. I mean, there are side quests you could go about in Skyward, but it's not like in Zelda, in any other Zelda game. I love that open world experience that Zelda offered with the vast and huge land of Hyrule. Especially in Twilight Princess, they really expanded that. And they just took a step back in that area. But the puzzles, I think, are really good in the game. The story is really, really interesting. And the boss fights, I think, are pretty fun. Although a lot of them are extremely... That's another negative, I think. Zelda boss fights, it always takes 3 major hits to get them, and that's it. It's really easy. I mean, a lot of these boss fights are extremely easy. I'm not saying all of them are. I thought that the first one, Lord... I can't pronounce his last name, I'm sorry. But I thought he was very challenging boss fight. But other than that, I mean, these boss fights were really easy. Yeah, I think so. A lot of them were. And, yeah, I mean, I just think that again, I know a lot of Zelda fans and Nintendo fans go, this is what he's talking about. These are my personal feelings. I still believe that the best Zelda game is between 2 games. It's between Majora's Mask and it's between Ocarina of Time. Those are the best. Because really, if you think about it, one more point and I'll stop the video. I think, you understand that Ocarina of Time, I think, innovated so many aspects of gaming that, I mean, it's just taking Majora's Mask, Skyward Sword is not really, like, taking anything new, besides the motion controls. I mean, that's one thing I gotta credit Ocarina of Time for. Skyward Sword for, sorry guys. But, it's late, and I got a crap. Yeah, I can't hear that. Anyway. But the mechanics in the game are pretty much the same. You have the bow and arrow, and you have, the same formula is there, which is good. But, Skyward Sword, still a great game, but it's not the best Zelda game ever. So, Alright, guys, it's been a long enough video. I gotta take care of some stuff. Gotta go to sleep. Gonna be a long day tomorrow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you guys think. I mean, that doesn't make me evil because I don't think Skyward Sword's the best Zelda game ever. It's not, in my opinion. So, alright, guys, have a good night. Bye.